Hey everybody, this is Jason from StartWritingABook.com, and I'm sorry it's taking so long to get this video up, but my parents were in town for a week, and I actually spent some time after that catching up on writing. But personal stuff aside, we're going to get right into the content here today. I'm going to talk about letting people read your stuff, and what some people say, why it's a good idea, and some people say it's not really a good idea. Personally, I think it's a fantastic idea, and that's through the experiences that I've had, the last couple of months. But first off, for not letting people read your stuff, generally what I've seen online, or the arguments, is that there could be copyright issues. Other people might take your idea. It could cause you to write differently than you normally would because people give you their opinions of things, and that could take you away from your original idea. And it could be less stressful. You don't have to worry about people's opinions or whether or not they like it, or things of that nature. Now to talk more about actually sharing your stuff with other people, which I think is much more beneficial. First, to touch on the copyright issue. If you send out your information to other people like I do, which is through email or through mail or anything else, there's a paper trail of you working on that. It's going to be very difficult for somebody to steal your work or idea when you can show 20 different emails with timestamps on them and files with timestamps on them. I save my work incrementally. There's a history of me working on my stuff. Not to mention that the 10 or 15 people that I have reading my work are witnesses and can say, hey, he's been talking about this idea forever. He's been writing this idea forever. He's been sending me files. Here are the dates. Blah 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 blah. So I think that offers you a little bit of free copyright protection as opposed to paying to have your files stored online or something of that nature. Another thing is just basic grammatical issues and story issues. There are certain things that, I'm not fantastic at grammar, but I'm fairly decent. I can pick things out, and but there are really simple things that I miss on a daily basis: capitalization and parentheses and using there. Just because when I'm writing, I'm just furiously writing and in the creative thought process, and then when I read back over it, I don't pick these things up because once again I'm focusing on the story and what's going on. So sending out my work for other family members to read or other friends who are sticklers at grammar and can pick those simple little things out for me is very beneficial, as well as story ideas, because once again I'm writing this based off of what I know about the story, which is everything, because I created it. I know where it's going. I know what the set looks like and what the people look like, and so sometimes I'll write something knowing what it looks like, not putting enough descriptions in there, and that's when my readers will come back to me and say, hey, what's going on here? You didn't provide any kind of description, and it just kind of slipped my mind. So I'll go back and add that kind of stuff in. Another thing is whether or not the book is engaging enough. I'm 155 pages into my book by now, and to get that far into it and not have other people read it and know whether or not it's engaging, it would be very difficult, to go back and change. So having people come back to me and say, hey, look, I want to read more chapters. I'm really interested. I like where this is going is very beneficial for me and for any other kind of writer. Getting a fan base is another thing. I follow Pat Flynn, who's the creator of a website called smartpassiveincome.com, and he talks all the time about giving away stuff for free, and that if people like it and they think it's worthwhile, they'll pay for it even though you give it away for free. And that kind of takes credence here. It's if I can get people interested in the story and get them reading it and get them liking it, it's basically free advertising. Once I release the book, they're going to pay for it to support me, and they're going to tell their friends about it. And, at that point, you can give out coupon codes or whatever to their friends, the first couple hundred people or whatever, but it's free advertising, and that's always a good thing. So those are really all the basics about letting people read your stuff. Once again, it is personal opinion. I prefer to do it. And one more thing that's really important about that as well, too, is the first step in making something happen is obviously starting it and creating it. But when you create something like this, a written piece of work or a piece of art, and you keep it to yourself, it's very difficult to get to that point where you want to sell it or you want to share it with others. And if you're not doing that, You know, if you're holding it to yourself until it's finished and it's not received the way you thought it would be, that can be a much bigger letdown, you know, than people giving you different ideas here and there as you're creating it. I don't let people's opinions or ideas sway the way that I write or the way that the storyline's going, but I may alter the way I've written it. So it's much easier to deal with regular criticism here and there about certain chapters, other than somebody telling you something about the entire book once it all comes out. And there may have been things that you could have changed that would have made it better and more receptive to people. So I would definitely suggest sharing your work with people. Next time, which will not be as long of a time in between, on my next video I'm going to talk about my story a little bit, my characters and the storyline, and kind of get into that a little bit more. I haven't really revealed too much yet, so I want to get into that a bit in the videos. And I also am going to be putting some more stuff on the website, www.startwritingabook.com, throughout the week, character profiles and things of that nature, locations, all that different kind of stuff. So you can now subscribe to my website. There's actually a subscribe button, and you'll get emails every time I update it. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, which are in the comment section below. And if you have any comments for this video, please leave it in the comments section. And I will see you guys next time. Hopefully we'll get the video up on Thursday, possibly next week. But look forward to seeing you again.